Welcome back to our series on historical clothing. We're here in a recreated Yahakin in our Paspahegh town, and we're going to talk to Maya about the clothing of Powhatan women. Maya, can you tell us a little bit about what you're wearing and what it represents?
Yeah, so what I'm wearing is pretty much common for what you'd see your average Powhatan woman wearing. I'll start off by my dress here. So my dress here is made from deer skin, which is primarily what the Powhatan's clothing would be made from. And they would commonly be wearing aprons like the men would be. You'd see them wearing a one or maybe two shoulder dress for more special occasions, or maybe if it's very cold out. Here I'm wearing some moccasins, which are also made from deer skin, and commonly the Powhatan would not be wearing moccasins in town, only when leaving town, but you know, I'm walking on ground that is not just packed earth or lush grass all day. I'm not wearing leggings today because it's not necessarily that cold yet, in my opinion. I think I'll start wearing my leggings when it's more like in the 30s, since I do get to be by a fire all day. But the English did write about how the Powhatan were much more acclimated to extreme, hot and extreme cold conditions than we are used to today. They would bathe in the river every single morning, even in the winter, breaking through the ice to get in, and pretty much just be spending their lives outside. So,
Great. I noticed that there are some shells on your dress. Can you tell us about the ways that the Powhatan women would have ornamented their dresses or made them special?
yeah, so, it's really similar to how we like to express ourselves today with different things that we like to wear. Here I have some shells that are embroidered on the bottom and top part of my dress to sort of add like a pop of white to my everyday sort of dress that I wear out here on site. And I'm also wearing some different jewelry to kind of also accentuate what I wear every day. So I also have some different types of bone and animal talons here, beads. Teeth would also be used as well, fangs and claws. These are rattlesnake vertebra that I actually went with my husband rattlesnake hunting last year, which was very adrenaline pumping and exhilarating. And these are some hawk talons here that I have on this necklace. You can see that there are a couple glass beads. Those would be trade items with Europeans when they come. Those are more high status items, just like wearing lots of pearls, which I just have a little bit of pearls on my necklace and some pearls on my bracelet, but also copper. So that is the one metal that the Powhatan did have before there were any European arrival, and they saw copper sort of as we see gold today. It's worn by people who are of more higher status. So a big piece like I'm wearing, it would probably be worn by a higher status person, but I am just wearing, just this copper strand and some copper rings. So wearing a little bit more copper, but everything else is still, pretty average, I would say, of everyday life dress.
I'm sure our viewers are wondering about the mark on your face and maybe the color on your shoulder.
Yeah.
These are unusual.
Yeah, so the Powhatan, I guess I'll start off with the paint and dyes and whatnot. The Powhatan, pretty much every color you can think of, they could make from their natural resources and can still be done today. So that would be different plants and their roots, flowers, and minerals. This one specifically that I have is a more bright red. we know it as puccoon, and that is a plant root that would be traded for. It's a bit more of a higher status item, but it is also commonly worn by women, so that's why I only have a little bit on my shoulders, and it's very kind of muted. You can still see my tattoos from it. Here I have this sort of drawn on to show that the Powhatan women would be tattooing their face as well. So, and I do have my own tattoos as well. And what I have are very, very modern versions of what the Powhatan women and men would have been tattooing. We know that the women would tattoo more so than the men, and the men would be painting more so than the women. You can see the paint sort of as how we pick out different color clothes every day, and we wear clothes to different occasions. So we know that they would often paint black and red. Those were common colors, but they were also painted for warfare. And we know that the women would paint all black for funerals. And then my tattoos, like I said, they're very, very modern versions of what the Powhatan would have been tattooing at that time, which we know were geometrical shapes and patterns, plants, flowers, animals, weapons, and such.
Now, this is a beautiful fur, and I'm sure it's helping to keep you a little bit warm.
Yeah.
What kind of animals are they using for furs and that sort of thing?
So we do know that a main animal being used to kind of keep warm would be deer fur. They would have a lot in their homes and used as carpets, and also used as a coat as well. But this here, I have a coyote. But the Powhatan, they more so would have been wearing red wolves, which are now almost pretty much extinct in the wild, sadly. But they would also use red and gray foxes, beavers, otters, raccoons, and possums, which are actually both Powhatan words, raccoon and possum. So when the English come here, they don't have those animals, so they see them as exotic. And beavers are also going extinct there at that time, so those are also sought after furs. Mountain lions were more closer to this area. They would have bobcat furs as well. Bear, definitely, using bear furs, because that's one of the more animals that they would hunt along with deer, but also like turkeys, which are native to this area. And so they would make feather mantles as well, which can actually keep you decently warm. I would say I wear a turkey feather mantle that I have more so in the fall, springtime.
Great. Well, thank you so much for sharing with us today, and thank you for joining us for another video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe. We hope to see you next time.
Thanks. Bye.